waiting for people to hop on before we get started. Hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to episode 7 of 20 Questions With. Today's special guest is going to be Mr. Trey Wonder from Hawaii. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Erin Micklow, and I host a show on YouTube called Last Rockers TV, where I interview bands, cover their live sets, and do festival recaps. So let's bring Trey on. Trey, are you here? Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm having wardrobe malfunctions today. This fucking dress. What a piece of shit. This is the first time I've ever worn this. Hi. Let's see if Trey's in here and we'll get him connected. Uh-oh. Oh, hi, Nathan. Nathan's in here. Hi, miss you and Shelby. It doesn't look like Trey's in here yet, but yeah, back to my wardrobe malfunctions. This is the first time I've worn this dress and it fucking broke already. Fuck this shit. God, whatever. All right. I don't even think Trey's in here yet. Trey's late to his own party. Well, anyways, we'll just play some of his music while we wait. Hi, everyone. We're still waiting for Trey to get in here. Fucking strap. Let me see if he's in here yet. God damn it, Trey, where are you? Well, anyways, hi, hello, everyone. How are you today? What's today? All the days just kind of melt together, yeah? Trey is here. Let's add him. Go fun. Hi!
Hi.
How are you?
How you doing? I'm good.
I had to stall. I was like, oh no, you're late to your own party.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm happy to see you. It's so nice to meet you. We've never actually met in person. We've just been internet friends for a while.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Well, let's start things off with a drink. What is your drink of choice?
I'm having a vodka cranberry today.
That sounds delicious. I'm having an iced coffee. I'm behaving myself. I got wasted on my kitchen floor the other night, so I was like, let's pull it back and calm down on the food.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into the questions. For those out there that aren't familiar with your music, can you describe your sound?
I'd say maybe if Joan Jett and Tom DeLonge had a baby, and then Tom DeLonge found out it wasn't his, it was actually Billy Idol's. That's I'd say that's my sound. It's kind of all over the place. It's not one thing or another, but I just try to keep it original and just I don't know. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was listening to your new album today, and you know, the first thing that came to mind, like aside from the things that you referenced, it kind of reminded me of, do you remember that band from like the 90s and the early 2000s, the Presidents of the United States of America?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love them so much. I mean that as a compliment because I fucking love that band, but some of your songs kind of just, it was just reminded me of that a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, those guys are all right. I grew up on a little bit of grunge and alternative, but when I first heard punk, I just kind of stopped listening to everything else, and you know, I was a snob. Turned my back on the grunge days.
I feel like as young punks, though, we've all kind of done that. So speaking of that, though, you've had a pretty rough punk rock past. Can you talk about that and kind of how it's shaped who you are today as an artist and as a person?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, so there was like a pretty good scene there. Um, I actually lived down the street from Brian Dennehy, um, the kid who got murdered by jocks, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a good little scene, but I moved on. I moved to Utah to get to know my dad, and he was way cool. Let us party and do whatever we wanted pretty much when I was like 15. And that was when my first band started, The Delinquents. And we were just like fast and angry kind of little band. Um, and then when that fizzed out, I started Basic Wonder, and that was in California. That was fun too. Um, but I just I've never gotten as much response as just doing all the shit myself for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to keep a band together, you know. It's fun, but
Yeah, it is.
you make money. I mean, it's rough just getting fucked up all the time and um so uh but yeah, I had really cool parents, and I'm really thankful that my mom bought me a guitar when I was 13. So, um, and I was grounded all the time anyway, so I just sit in my room and figure shit out. But
Yep. But you actually are kind of like a one-man band where you literally play all the instruments yourself for your albums. You
I
do the
do.
drums, the bass, the
Yeah,
guitar.
yeah, yeah. The first drummer I ever played with was super awesome, and I learned a lot from him. And then about 15 years ago, I bought my own drum set and just started slamming it out and figuring out how to play drums. And I love it. Drums is like super easy for me. It's just like nothing, because I sit around just tapping on shit all day anyway, so I might as well, you know. But
Also, because they always say like drums and bass are kind of related. So then, you started maybe with guitar and then drums were easy for you. Then how was it learning the bass?
yeah, so yeah, I've been playing guitar for 25 years, and the bass is it's pretty simple. I mean, it's four strings out of the guitar, just thicker, and um, I usually lay the drums down first, or I mean not the drums. I lay the guitar down first, and then I lay the drums down to the guitar through headphones, and then I lay the bass down, and then vocals. So it's just this little step by step process, and it's a good formula. Sometimes I switch it up, but that's usually how it works.
That's that must be crazy though, because like then you don't have. I mean, on the one hand, it's all you and your ideas, and you don't have to, potentially disagree with your bandmates. But then on the other hand, it's like you don't have bandmates to come in and bring stuff to the table. It's just you.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's just an obsession, and it's just what I do. Any second I have that I'm alone, I have to make something. This is my third album, and it's definitely better than my first. So I'm getting better. The second one did pretty well. I actually got a good response from that. So it just kind of kept me going, because I almost gave up after the first one. Like I had no streams, like no one like gave a shit, and I was just like whatever. But the second one started gaining momentum, and like I was pretty stoked. I'm like, well, shit, maybe I can do this, And this album, I'm really excited about, and I have two little kids, and my daughter Trey is like, she's like the test. Like, if it's a good song, like you can't get it past her. Like, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She loves the music, and I'm not gonna put something out that she doesn't like, basically, because she's so honest. Like a lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's good," but it's like, no, yeah, it's not.
Totally. Yeah, so but speaking of your latest album, it just came out last week. It's called Can't Wait. It's available on all streaming platforms. Can you talk about the process of making that album?
Yeah, it's basically just been the past year of my life. I took all the things that have happened and just kind of put them into a little story, so to speak. Um, and it's I'm a dad, so I don't have much time to make music. That's why the first single, it's been about a year since I put that out, and then I've just kind of been adding songs like every couple of months. I'll add a new song, and it was real easy. So I think that's why it's good, is because I didn't really have to think about anything. Everything was written on the spot. I don't have time to sit around and write songs like I used to. Like when I used to be in bands, I could have time to just sit there and like write songs, but now it's basically when my wife and kids like leave, I'll have songs in my head when I'm like in the shower and stuff, and I'll have these songs in my head, and I just start laying it out, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But yeah, it's 40 minutes and 13 songs. I'm pretty stoked about that, because I grew up when albums were everything, and to make a good album like really made you an artist, and I'm stoked, for sure.
Yeah, I was listening to the new album today when I was getting ready. I really like it. I like the first song the best. That one's my favorite.
Nice.
So what's your
Yeah.
favorite song on the new album and why?
I Saw the Witch probably the most, because I haven't heard it a million times. Um, and that's one of the things is when you do everything yourself, you hear, I record everything, and I have to make sure it sounds good. So you get sick of it, after a while, and you're like, so the new ones definitely, you know, have more of an impact when I listen to it now. But I Saw the Witch is cool because it starts kind of grungy, but then it goes fast, like fast punk, and then it kind of goes back. And it's weird. I had this dream that there was this witch that pushed a little girl down into a chimney and like burned her. And I was like super pissed about it. So I went into this house and like got a gun, and I was like gonna find her and shoot her. And there was like a Halloween party going on inside. And anyway, I made a video to it. It's really cool. That kind of goes along with the way that the dream went. Which, whatever. It's just a dream, but it's a good song. You should check it out. It's funny, and I like to make the videos kind of funny, not all like super serious or like dramatic. So that's probably my favorite one. I like Dead Already. My wife really likes that one too. And it's done pretty well over the last week. So
That's awesome. Hey, I wanna ask you, because your connection on my end is a little spotty. We can't see your beautiful face because it's all fuzzy. Can you like try to turn your Wi-Fi off? Is that possible without ending the live stream? It got a little bit better. It got a little bit better just now.
It's like crystal clear on my end.
Oh, that's so weird. On my end, your face is a little bit fuzzy. I wonder, is everybody watching out there, how does it look for you guys? He says, my tail is fuzzy. What? Okay. Well, we'll just carry on then if it's crystal clear for you. So you actually, for everyone out there that doesn't know, you live in Hawaii, and you run a coffee and avocado farm with your partner Amanda. Can you talk
Yeah.
about what a normal day looks like for you? That's really unique. I can't even imagine what that life is like.
It's pretty cool. So I usually wake up before everyone else and make coffee, and I bring my little girl chocolate milk, and we just kind of I let them play. You know, we have 5.5 acres, so it's just like heaven for them. They can just run around. It's like nice every day, and it's cool. You know, I'm stoked for them because I couldn't even imagine how awesome it would be to grow up here as a little kid. You know, um, so you know we have 3,000 coffee trees and 60 avocado trees. So it's a lot of
That's
work.
amazing. That's kind of like heaven for me. Like, I love coffee and I love avocados. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean it's a lot of work, but we have help. We have a crew that comes in, and they pretty much do everything. I used to do all of it, and then now they do it. So it's kind of the burden's off. Um,
Yeah,
so
I
I
mean,
just have to
that's a
make
lot
sure
of
that
trees to have to manage yourself.
it's crazy. Yeah. Um, so they do it, and they just kind of like take a percent or whatever. Um, and I have a lot of time to actually like hang out with my family, which is pretty important to me. So,
That's awesome. So
um,
how did that happen though? Like, you were just like, you know what? I'm sick of living in like mainland America. I'm just gonna fucking move to Hawaii and start a farm.
yeah. Um,
Is that
my wife, when she was going to college, she came out here to finish it, and I ended up following her from Salt Lake City. I was only supposed to come out for 2 weeks, and I ended up staying for 2.5 years. Um, and then I moved to San Francisco, and then she followed me to San Francisco. And after about 7 years in the Bay, we went down. We were kind of just traveling around in a van for a long time, and we were trying to find a place. We almost moved to San Diego, but she's like, no, the jobs are in LA. So we moved to LA, to Inglewood, of all places. And she ended up not really being able to find a job, even though like her decision to move to LA was because they had the jobs. But and then I worked the whole time. Uh, but it was cool. Like I liked it, but it wasn't the Bay. Like my heart is in like San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. It was kind of a rough little year there in Inglewood, and we got offered by her dad actually that bought this place a long time ago. He's just like, can you guys come in and take it over? So we did, and he went and bought his house. Her mom bought her house, and we took it over, and now this is our house.
that's
So,
awesome. Well,
yeah.
so for you then, like, I mean, obviously, people that live in the Bay Area, they have such a fondness for it. But living in Hawaii now, what's like the best thing about living in Hawaii for you?
I like the beach. I like going out and paddleboarding, and just it's nice. We love warm weather. We went to California because it's nice and warm, never snows. But here it's way nice. It's like always sunny, and um, it's it's a nice place for to start a family at least, which it kind
Totally.
of sucks at the same time because um, you can't really go anywhere, so you're kind of trapped. There's no shows or like open roads. You just kind of if you want to go on vacation, it costs a shitload of money, to fly anywhere. So
Yeah, where in Hawaii do you live?
Kona. So
Okay.
Kona
Oh
coffee
yeah,
is
yeah. I've been there. I was on the main island, and I was on like the other side of it, like where the fucking volcano or some shit is, and it was so boring.
Right.
And then we
Yeah.
drove over to the other side where Kona was, and that's a little bit more touristy. But there's still
Right.
not much. There's still not much there.
It's like a third world country out here, for sure.
It's beautiful though. It is beautiful.
It's nice.
So I was gonna say, like, what's the worst thing about living there? But I think you just answered it.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Just no band ever comes here. I went and saw the Interrupters on Oahu a while back. That was pretty awesome. But they just don't come here for some reason. So
Probably because there's just not enough people to come see them. I mean, I did see on your Instagram that you saw the Interrupters in Honolulu, which how far is that from where you are? Like, did you have to travel far to go to that show?
yeah, it's only like a 40-minute flight. So yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Oh no, it's like you can't even drive to go see bands. You have to fly.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, when I heard the Misfits were getting back together, for their 33rd reunion, I flew all the way to Denver to see that show. It was so badass.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know the one, right?
Yeah, I saw them last summer, and it was a great show. It was really fucking expensive, though. I was kind of irritated about how much money I paid to go see that show.
Yeah, I saw you in a picture with Danzig. How is he? Is he like creepy, or is he like pretty cool? Or
No, I mean, he was cool. Like, I mean, I just, I have heard stories about him getting irritated at people, so I just tried to be really respectful of his time and just kind of get in and get out, say hello, get a picture, and then get out of his face because I didn't want to irritate him. But I've met him twice, and both times I've met him, he was nice to me. But again, I just tried to respect his space and his time and not be like overbearing and rude.
Right.
So we're halfway through our questions now. Will you play us a song?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Woo! Just trying to read some of the comments here. I'm like a little too far away to ever see the comments that people are writing. I have really bad far away vision.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right. So I'm gonna play Any Bruiser. And the interesting thing about this is my daughter actually wrote the chorus because she was out on our playground one day and she kept singing this song over and over, like, when I try, when I do, I like any I do. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like videoing her, and it just got stuck in my head, so I ended up like making a song around it. So anyway.
That's so cute.
I wanna tell you something, and when I tell you something, I want your full attention now. I get my way, I get my way, but I'm not standing my way. The world ain't ready like I am. I like Should we be something? I wanna full attention now. I get my way, I get my way. I'm not standing my way. Will it rain like I am? When I tell, I can't be tell. When I try, when I tell, I can't be tell. When I try, when I tell, I can't be tell. When I try, when I tell, I can't be tell.
Woo!
Yep.
I like your music. See, your music to me is so strange, but in a good way. Like, I really like it. It reminds me of a lot of different things. I saw someone in the comments, they gave a shout out. They're like, do you like the toy dolls? And it's just, there's so many artists out there where strange is good, you know?
Great.
It must still be so weird just being a one-man band. I mean, it's must be weird, but you don't have to deal with the bullshit of bandmates.
I would, if there were some musicians out here, I would totally join a band with them, but I haven't found anybody. It's sad.
Music with your avocados. I mean, you've got a lot of those.
Yeah, it is what it is, I just make music for people who want to listen to it, and I'm super stoked to have fans. I never thought that I'd have fans, so whatever.
But that's the wonderful thing about the time that we live in now is like it's kind of a strange thing that it's like, you can start your own band and just be you, and there's the internet so people can listen to your music and stream it and do all that stuff, and you don't have to leave your bedroom if you don't want to.
Right. Well, I should play more live or whatever. This is actually the first time I've played or performed in a long time besides to anyone else but like my family. So
that's awesome. Yay! Okay, so let's jump back into the questions. What's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show or internet show?
I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, but I really like old horrors. Like if I ever get the chance, I'll sit around and just watch like super old like black and white horrors, and I love it. It's just so entertaining for some reason.
That's awesome. What's your favorite one?
I really like Eraserhead. Anything with Barbara Steele.
Okay.
She was just like the coolest actress back then, and she's like in her 80s now, but like she was the shit back then.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We don't really have time. So yeah, I like comedies, I like comedies too, but I just can't sit there and spend hours on end just like watching TV or something. I'll freak out. Like I just can't. I feel like it's a waste of my time or something.
Totally. In this quarantine, I got started the other night on my guilty pleasure that I love, like trash TV, is I started watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but I was kind of like, this is awesome. And like being in quarantine on Hulu, they have like all 17 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what it is really. I mean, or why it is a thing, but I guess you just have to watch it to know.
I kind of, you know what? I think I grew up in that time of like, I mean, I think we're around the same age, but I grew up in the time of like the E network and all of the like trash reality shows that they had, you know, and that's kind of like when that started. So season 1, I didn't realize that show had been going that long. Season 1 started in 2007.
Whoa.
So
No,
I was like
everyone
hungover the other day and I started watching it and I was like, I'm kind of into this.
Nice. Have you seen Black Mirror?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's kind of like a darker, like weirder kind of thing. Like we binge watch like things every now and then, um, but it's kind of got to be like um, when the kids aren't around. It's really hard to watch anything with kids because you know, there's all the violence and the sex and stuff, and you have to keep them pure. Um, which is completely opposite to the way that I grew up. Like I was fucking like dirt poor, okay? Like my kids are so lucky to have this lifestyle. And I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 5. And this wasn't like an edited version. It was like full on gore. And what was the other one? Night of the Living Dead scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. The Shining, like, and my parents, or my mom at least, because my dad wasn't around, but they just let us watch whatever we wanted, and it was horrible. It was like horrible shit. But now it's like I love that kind of stuff, so you know, I guess it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, my dad was the same. It's like when I look back at some of the stuff that he would have on, it's like this is really inappropriate. This was really inappropriate for our age. We should not have been watching that while you're getting tanked on your fucking Budweisers, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Inappropriate. So next question. What's one band you've always wanted to see but never got to?
Oh, I've always wanted to see the Dead Kennedys, and I still have not seen them. I heard that Dead Kennedys went to Oahu a couple of months ago, but it wasn't Jello Biafra, and it was like Chip or some different singer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna waste a bunch of money going over there because you know I like Jello, I like the old shit, I like. But I've always wanted to see the Dead Kennedys, and you know maybe they'll play with them again. But I've seen a lot of really awesome shows. I had like a bucket list, and Propagandhi, Circle Jerks, Descendants, you know, No Effects. Like I've seen all those guys, and they were fucking awesome. But you know, there's a lot of bands that just don't play anymore, and I like the old stuff, so it's, you know, you may never get to see them. The fucking Misfit show was pretty awesome though. I got to see Leftover Crack and you know, all the other bands that played Riot Fest. Pretty awesome. I was watching your Last Rockers TV last night. That was pretty awesome. And that's how I used to be. I used to always go out and see the fucking shows. And, you know, I miss that. You know, it was fun. It was so much fun. So
I think right now, though, everybody's missing it. I mean, for you, what's your normal life is like what everyone else, like in mainland America, is going through too. Is like, God, I miss going to live shows. And I mean, this for me, I started this to, you know, entertain people at home and then partially entertain myself as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, let me bring people on and let's play us some songs, please.
Nice.
Okay, so next question. Best show experience, yours or someone else's that you've ever had?
Okay, when I was 29, I think, yeah, it was my 29th birthday, we played Hotel Utah in San Francisco, and it was an amazing show. It was a big turnout, and everyone was into it, and it was just one of those epic nights that you'll never forget, and that was a great show. As far as other bands that I've seen, Suicidal Tendencies was awesome. I remember they played in Salt Lake City, and it was outside, so there was a tornado pit of dirt just swirling around. And I was just a little kid. I was probably like 17 or 18, and I just jumped in there with all these like 30-year-old cholos in the pit, and like boom, and like I came out with blood and mud all over my face and my shirt. It was so much fun.
I like how that makes a good punk show. It's like, oh yeah, I was fucking bleeding. Like, fuck.
It was fucking awesome. Propagandhi was probably one of my favorite ones too. I saw him in Fort Collins, and I wasn't quite 21 yet, but I had a fake ID.
Yeah.
And I got thrown out of the show for buying underagers drinks. So I was like sitting out back, and I was all pissed off. And then they started playing. I heard them playing, and someone went in the back door with like a piece of equipment or something. So I like snuck back in, and I got to see the whole show right until the end. And someone saw me and they're like, "Get that motherfucker out of here!" So, yeah, I would have been pretty devastated to miss that one.
Yeah, I had a couple experiences like that too when I lived in Florida and I wasn't 21 yet, you know, and it just getting kicked out for having alcohol underage and then trying to sneak back in and get kicked out again.
Give me a break.
Okay, so then what's your worst show experience?
Worst show, maybe I saw Flipper one time, and their drummer just totally like blanked out for a minute, like right in the middle of the set, and like wouldn't play, and the band was just looking at him like, what the hell are you doing? And it took like a good 5 minutes before he started playing again, and the whole crowd's just like, what the fuck, man? And
I actually know Flipper's drummer. He lives down the street from me.
yeah, I don't know if he just like didn't know like what song they were playing, or just like couldn't put it together, but it was a real weird, awkward situation for the whole place. And even the band was just like giving him shit, like, what the fuck, man?
It's like, Steven, wake up! We're playing
Who's
a
this
show
guy
here.
But most shows I go to are just epic, you know. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a bad show. Like, and that wasn't even a bad show. I still had a great time. It was just like this
It was just
weird
weird.
little awkward
That is
thing.
weird. That's really weird. That's so odd. Okay, so what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, when I was in about second grade, I had like this crush on my teacher, like a mom crush, and I was super sick. I was like deathly ill with the flu, and my mom still made me go to school. And she like gave me some Pepto-Bismol on the way, and I was a pretty awkward kid anyway. So I'm sitting there in class, and I just like projectile vomited this Pepto-Bismol all over my desk and all over the kid in front of me. And I was just so embarrassed, you know, because I was like obsessed with my teacher, and I made a complete fool of myself. And she, you know, she's like, go to the nurse, and I tried to hold it, you know, as I'm going out the door, but I just puked all over the floor, just like a huge Pepto-Bismol mess. It was devastating.
And it was all pink from the Pepto-Bismol, probably. So gross.
And, you know, I think, you know, there's not a whole lot of, like, just, like, well, okay, yeah, one time I was in high school, and I was out playing SEPA, you know, like hacky sack,
Yeah.
out like on a break, and this Mormon kid came up behind me and, like, pulled down my shorts, and it, like, ripped my underwear down, too. So, like, 100 kids in the school saw my dick, and I was just like, you know, I wasn't ready for it. Are you ever ready for that, you know?
I don't think you're ever ready for you know, to be pantsed in public.
But, you know, you know, embarrassing shit happens all the time. You just gotta fucking deal with it.
Oh my god, that's really funny. I remember one of my most embarrassing moments. I was on a date with a guy and we were like we were we were drunk and we were like on the beach and I like was joking and I took like his overshirt and I had it like wrapped around my neck, just draped on my neck. And he snatched and it was a white shirt. He snatched it and when he pulled it, he ripped out some of my hair extensions with the shirt. And my hair, you know, my hair is a darker color, and the shirt was white, so there was no hiding it.
What the fuck, man? Domestic abuse.
And he didn't know what to do, so he kind of just gave me the whole shirt and my hair back. Oh my god, it was really embarrassing, and like they were clip-in extensions, so I kind of just tried to clip them back in, and then I gave him his shirt back. It was really awkward. Okay, so yeah, most embarrassing moments. Always good stories. So next question, what is your favorite snack?
My favorite snack?
Yeah.
I like trail mix. You know, like the Costco trail mix, the big ass bag.
Why? Like, what about trail mix makes it your favorite snack?
It's like sweet and salty, you know.
Okay.
And my little girl eats most of the M&Ms, so it's good, you know. I like Mexican food. That's like my favorite food. I like spicy stuff. But I don't just like sit around snacking on shit all day or whatever. But yeah. What's your favorite snack?
Weirdly, I eat a lot of popcorn at night. I don't know what I like. Yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't know why I like popcorn so much, but I do. It's fucking weird.
It's stuck in your teeth, though. That's why I don't like it.
That doesn't usually happen to me, thankfully.
Yeah, my daughter loves popcorn.
I don't know why. So you post a lot of videos on your Instagram about like weird reptiles and animals that you find in your acreage that you have out there in Hawaii. What's the weirdest animal you've come across? I saw you posted like a bunch of spiders and like a fucking iguana thing.
Yeah, the skeleton of the chameleon. That was pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out here. I really like spiders and taking pictures of stuff like that. My daughter does too. But I think the weirdest like animal I've come across was a ram. My neighbor has a bunch of like wild goats and shit. Just like he'll like tie them up and then they'll break off of their leash or whatever.
Yeah.
And my wife and I were pulling up one day. I was in the passenger seat of our van and I was a little bit drunk, wasn't really paying attention, and she's like, there's a goat like tangled up in the bush out there, like go help it. So she stopped and I get out of the van and it wasn't a goat, it was a ram, like a big ass ram with the horns. And as soon as I looked at it, it charged me and slammed into my knee and like flung me up in the air. And so like my back end went back and I just grabbed onto its horns. That was just like complete accident. Grabbed onto its horns and it fucked me up. Like I was limping for like a week after that shit.
Oh my god! Did you like break your knee or anything, or were you? It was just.
I hurt my knee pretty bad. I still have problems with it, but you know, it's just weird shit you have to deal with like that out here. There's wild boars. It just like packs of wild boars with tusks, and they're super aggressive. And it's weird. I got to keep an eye on my kids so they don't, you know, get mauled by some wild animal or something.
That's terrifying.
It's crazy. You know, there's good things about this place and there's bad things. You know, it's never perfect anywhere you go. So,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's a lot of nature to have to deal with. I don't know how I would handle that. I mean, the worst thing here is like sometimes there's a skunk in my backyard and some raccoons, which are pretty scary. But like, oh my god, a fucking wild boar. Ugh. That's really scary. Okay, so what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in someone else's home?
I'd have to say, like a full-grown pig. I went to school with a girl named Angie, and her grandma had this huge fucking pig, and I think her name was Latoya. And we'd go to her grandma's house. We were like 15 or 16 because she would buy us cigarettes, and we'd just sit around smoking cigarettes. And one day I was over there, and this huge fucking pig came around the corner, and I was just like, whoa, you know. And apparently it had a room of its own in the house. It was like painted pink and shit. Super bizarre. But that's probably the weirdest thing I've seen in someone's house.
That is weird. That's a weird thing to see.
Like animals in the house, it's not gonna happen. I mean, the kids make a big enough mess as it is. No wild animals of any kind can come in the house.
Yeah. I have a friend in Denver, and he used to have a pig, and he was just like, yeah, I live with a pig. I was like, that's weird. That's really odd.
Kind of creepy, but whatever.
Okay, so last question. What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time?
Probably nunchucks. Because I mean, why would you ever need more than one pair of nunchucks in the house? Someone could get hurt, I think.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I mean, who would even need one pair of nunchucks?
Well, I mean, you're gonna hurt yourself whether you have one or two, but you don't need two.
You could like windmill them if you had two, you know?
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a tough question.
So let's close with one more song. Will you play us one more song?
All right, yeah, I will. Let's do it.
You don't sound enthused. All right, I will.
Oh yeah, you know,
Fine.
I just kind of like spaced out for a minute, forgot that there's like people watching, and okay.
Entertain us with your music.
Okay.
Let me know what I can do. Maybe I can figure out all your problems before I can even figure out mine. I will throw myself into every traffic once again, because your problems are mine, and that's the way it is. If you're not sure what to say, maybe try holding your tongue till the right time to decide. It may come out wrong. If there's something I can do, I will try to figure out all your problems before I go over and die in a gotta figure it out, gotta figure it out, gotta figure it out, gotta tell it. Gotta figure it out, gotta figure it out, gotta figure it out, gotta tell it.
I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs that you've made.
Right on.
That's a really good one. So that's the end of our episode. I want to say thank you so much for joining me, and everyone out there, please go give Trey a follow at trey.wonder. Please go stream his new album, Can't Wait, on all streaming platforms, and shop his merch at treywonder.com. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here and for playing your songs.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.